everybody, and welcome to Let's Play MechWarrior Online. This is your host Amalius, and I've been grinding my way through the cat bonus off screen. And now it's time to start getting our first mech. So I'm gonna go to the mech lab, click on Own Mechs, and select Buy Mech. Now do a quick run through of every map before I got my first one, so everyone knows what to expect. Light mechs, as a general rule, are lightest one is 20 to 35 tons. So compared to the assaults, which go all the way to up to 100 tons, they're very light. The lightest one currently in the game is a 25 tonner, the Commando. As you can see, it is a somewhat humanoid appearance, and yeah, it has fists and opposable thumbs. Well, in the tabletop that means it can engage in close combat. Sadly in MWO you can't do that yet, so you're just tied to your weapon. Now the first thing you might notice that it has 3 energy slots. This Commando 1B, 1 missile slot, while it only has 2 energy slots used. A lot of stock mechs don't have all their weapons equipped. Commandos are the smallest mech in the game. They're very good scouts, and they can be very good harassers, but they definitely take a lot more practice than the other lads do, sadly. They can't take much punch. The maximum armor is 178, and I think their central torso can have about 24 to 30, depending on how much rear arm you want to sacrifice, so they can't take much brunt either. The very good reconnaissance mechs at a pinch can be good harassers, but to be honest, only the 2D, because it has ECM capabilities. So let's move on to the other ones. We have the Spiders, which are slightly heavier at 30 tons. They have jump jet capabilities, but their weapon slots leave something to be desired, if you ask me. I've never piloted one though, and I'm probably gonna do that at one stage, maybe sooner or later, I don't know yet, in this Let's Play, because I want to pilot different ones than I got on my main account. This one's a good example of the Spider that I'm talking about. It can hold up to 12 jump jets, which is a lot, so it can jump very high and very fast. Only has 2 energy slots in the central torso though, and 2 medium lasers. That's most likely no more armamentation. At a pinch you could do medium pulse lasers, but or perhaps a single large laser, but other than that, this also very good scouts. Well, unlike the Commando, they can actually jump. Also very small targets, but a bit easier to hit than Commandos because they're taller. Next up is the Jenner at 35 tons. These are actually very well armored and have very even stock, very well weapons loaded on. With the biggest engine in there, you can go 150, and these become a very big nuisance. I think the current trial mech is this one, except obviously the champion version only has 6 energy slots, but what you see a lot of people doing online is equip 6 medium lasers on it, and these become exceedingly well at harassing. Very dangerous mechs to face when you're piloting a mech yourself, and when your team is low on defense against them. Next up we have the Ravens. As far as I always knew, these were reconnaissance mechs with advanced electronic countermeasures. However, in the game only the 3L Raven has that, with both ECM and the Beagle active. When you have these both equipped on the mech, however, the Beagle doesn't deactivate a nearby ECM anymore, because your own ECM overrides that part. So when you have them both on the same mech, the only gain you get from it is that your missiles lock on faster, and the stock on only has SRAM 6, so you don't gain anything from that. The 4X and the 2X are actually very slow ones, because I got these as my on my main account, while the 3L can go to up towards 150 with the biggest engine. So if I have to be honest, out of these three, only the 3L is a keeper, and it's the most common one you see online. Next up we have mediums, starting with the 40-ton cicadas. These are best described as heavy light mechs, because the difference between this and a Raven or a cicada is only 5 tons. And while they can have more armor, their stock variants generally don't even have half of what they can have. And well, they can be quite dangerous, especially with these two, the 2A and the 2B, with 5 and 6 medium slots respectively. They don't offer much compared to a light, and they're a lot bigger targets. So you might want to be careful when you pilot one of these. They are very good fast thrusters though, especially when they were run with equally fast lights. This one in stock configuration has an Ultra AC5. I've seen a lot with SC2s, but I've also seen people who just put the smallest engine in and pack like a Gauss 5 or an AC20. So while they're funny concepts, they're not very good, because people can just gun you down very quickly. These need to go very fast, and same as lights tend to need the EXO engines to work well. Next we have the blackjacks, or as I like to call them, mini Jaegers. While the Jaeger mechs are heavy mechs, these are medium ones. And as you might guess, the difference between that is that you lose armor and firepower, while you might gain some speed. But the stock configurations are pretty much what I would do with them if I want to adjust something, perhaps upgrade to end of steel ferrofibrous double heat sinks, but the weaponry would probably be the same. You can't really do all that much with these mechs, sadly. Well, having said that, I haven't piloted them myself yet, so I could be very much mistaken. But they also only weigh 45 tons, so I don't know. Perhaps I'm gonna have to give them a try sometime. Centurions, very good mechs, have been in the game for a pretty long time. And these are very good all-around mechs. They're relatively speedy. They have a well-rounded ornaments with lasers in the central torso, missiles in the left torso, and a ballistic right arm, with the 9AL having energy right arm. This D variant can hold a bigger engine, but yeah, very well rounded mechs. What most people tend to do nowadays is equip them similarly to the current champion mech, in that they only equip missiles in the left torso and lasers and weapons, creating a zombie mech that needs to be cored to be taken out, otherwise it can keep going and keep fighting. So yeah, very good potential. Hunchbacks, pretty much a standard as standard mechs can get. Very good mechs, but they are somewhat handicapped in that majority of their weapons are in the right hand torso, or as we call it, their hunch. They also have different weapons located around their mechs, but the vast majority of the firepower comes from their hunch. So while they are very good mechs, they do have their drawbacks. The only one from this lineup from the hunchbacks that does not follow this philosophy is the 4SP, which actually has 2 identical torsos. Well, nearly identical torsos. One side also contains the AMS slot, but otherwise this one is pretty much mirrored. The left and right side are both identical. With a standard engine, this is a really potent racer. And support brawler. Next up we have the trebuchet, who are by lore always paired up with a centurion as a speedy reconnaissance unit. Have not piloted these ones, I must admit, but I am kinda interested in trying one out there. I've seen them in the field as very speedy mechs, and yeah, it's very dangerous short-range missile boats. So can't can't add too much to this other than the fact that they're pretty much identical to a Centurion, except that they're faster and that they have a higher focus on missiles. But yeah, this one's a very new one, the Kintaro laser and missile boats at 55 tons, the heaviest mediums that we have in the game and can have in the game, because mediums are 40 to 55 tons. So these ones are at the heavy end of mediums. Very spread out loadouts, and I don't really know what to think about these mechs. I have not faced them that much either, so I can't tell you if they have very good armor values or not, or if they have any glaring flaws. I don't know yet. Dragons, 60 tons. They are the light end side of the heavies. They're quite fast, however their central torso, while you can see it in the picture because you can't look at the sides, are very big. You can't really hide that central torso, so they tend to get destroyed by losing their central torso. That said, that means that equipping a exo engine tends to not have a drawback on these mechs, and if you equip a big engine on them, they can go over 100. Very good and easily set up as light hunters. These are nice mechs, but like a lot of mechs that have a heavy focus on their on a particular limb, it tends to get shut off, especially when your opponent sees that you have a heavy focus on that arm. So that tends to be a drawback for them. Quick draws, also 60 tons. Seem to be purely missiles and energy weapons. And I don't know what to think about these guys. They're kinda the same as dragons, except that their central torsos are even more easily hit. Not sure if that was a bug or not, but they're also a lot taller, so you can't really hide behind something unless it's a skyscraper. I have seen people with, I think, about 5 SRAM 6s, 4 SRAM 6s, not sure which one it was. Let me see. Perhaps that was the hero variant, I don't know, but very dangerous if they do sneak up on you, and they can be very fast. So very nice mech, I guess. And next up we have the Catapult A1. This is a pure LRM boat, or missile boat anyway. It has no alternative weapons. So if your arms or ears, as we call them, get shut off, you're basically, well, disarmed, and you have no backup weapons. This C1, however, has 4 energy slots, and comes stocked with 4 medium lasers, and my own C1 that I have as the founder pretty much has the identical setup, except with double heat sinks, endo steel, and more ammo. What can I say? It's a good loadout, and didn't see much point by changing it. The C4 catapult, it's kind of a mix between the C1 and the A1. It has a bit more focus on missiles with 4 slots and only 2 energy, but I don't know, never knew what to do with this one. Get you the ballistic boat of the catapults, very potent. I've run one with AC-10s for mediums, I've run one with Ultra AC-5s, I've run double Gauss, I've run double AC-20s. No matter how I look at this mech, it just works exceedingly well. I've also tried it in the stock configuration with 2 PPCs, machine guns, medium lasers. And what can I say? It works very nicely. The arms are located above the cockpit, so you can sit on the ridge of a hill and fire over it, and hardly get any return fire. It's a very nice mech. Some people get upset when people see big autocannons loaded in the ports of machine guns, and I'm kinda on the same boat as they are, but on the other hand, it's a part of the game, so yeah. What can I say? Jägermechs are basically gunboats with a heavy focus on autocannons and their arms. If these things lose their arms, they don't tend to not have a lot of firepower left. As you can see, this one has the ballistics and missile slots in the arms and only 2 energy slots in the torso. And yeah, Jägermechs tend to have a very high focus on firepower and a low focus on armor. And no matter what Jaeger mech I see, they tend to follow the same philosophy: firepower before survivability. And these tend to be incredibly dangerous mechs to face, and you cannot ignore them. That's why we tend to shoot them down before anything else. If you like autocannons, I'd take a Jaeger mech. Cataphract, also very high, the high end of the fire support mechs, weighing at 70 tons. They're one of the heaviest. They have low hanging arms though, which kind of means that they're at a disadvantage when they're sitting underneath the crest of a hill. That said, they tend to have high firepower and are high on the priority list to be taken out. They also tend to be very agile and fast, so yeah, what can I say? I have not personally piloted these ones, but they, from what I can see, have a lot of firepower, a lot of armor, and they're very speedy. So very popular mechs. And the Orion, or the Mini Atlas, heaviest of the heavy mechs. Yeah, well, no matter what Orion you're selecting, it has both ballistics, energy, and missile slots. And aside from the armor and maybe speed, they're pretty much smaller version of the Atlas. Very good mechs, but they're the most recent addition to the game, so I've not really been able to make up my mind about them. I have faced off their hero variant, the Protector, the most, I must say, and I tend to not like standing in front of them too much. The assaults, we have the lightest one at 80 tons, the Awesome. I personally got the 8Q and let's see, the 8T, this one. These are very good, well, they only got energy boats, so they can only be good at energy boating. But in the stock configuration of 3 PPCs, they're a very fearsome mechs. However, because of their large central torso, they tend to be gunned down very, very fast. Like the Dragon, it's almost impossible to hide that central torso, so you tend to get hit there no matter what you try. That's it. They're one of the more speedy assaults. If you like to be mobile, have lots of armor, and have a lot of firepower, these ones are definitely the way to go. Yeah, the 8R and the 8T are very good missile boats, I must say. The 8R is also very dangerous if you load them up with big engine, short range missiles, and get in people's faces. You tend to do a lot of damage before they can do anything in return. Basically the same thing with an 8-1 with SRM packs, except that this one has a lot more armor. It's also bigger and can get more easily used, but let's see other side of the story. You have the 8V and the 9M. 9M has potential to have an extremely big engine. Well, the stock comes with an XL320 for 64.8 kilometers per hour, so it's already the speediest assaults out there, I think. The 8V, I'm not sure what this one had for weapons. It only has one side torso with missiles. That's all. I don't think I've seen this one before. But oh well. This one is... Oh wait, I see which one this is. So that's a very... how do I put this particular loadout? It has missiles in one of its side torsos, 3 slots, and one arm, one torso mounted variant. Well, what lots of the Awesomes have in common is that their left arms are basically shield arms. You can have nothing in there, but you can perhaps put some heat sinks in there or something. Stuff that's not a major loss to lose, I guess. Next up we have Victor, first jump capable assault in the list. And what can I say about this? It's not a bad mech by far. It's very like the Awesome. It's very speedy. It's actually speedier than the Awesome. But now that I look at it, it even comes with standard engine, so that's nice. They have a somewhat mixed loadout. Not all too bad. But like a lot of mechs, they tend to perform better if you specialize this. Whatever your loadout you want to put on it. They're think just about as tall as an Atlas actually, and when scouting I tend to mistake them for Atlas at a distance. Very unfortunate when it happens. What can I say, at a distance they look similar. Next up we have the Stalker, which at 85 tons is not light, but also not very heavy for assaults. The energy and missile boats for the most part. The hero mech, the Misery, actually has also a ballistic slot, but none of the normal ones have that. And yeah, these are, well, like all assaults, very dangerous when you stand in front of them. Either as LRM boats or SRM boats or energy boats, you can't really go wrong with Stalker. The only downside, big downside to Stalkers is that their torsos can only, I think, twist up towards 45%, so they're very easily flanked. Next up, the Highlander, second jump capable mech in the list. As you can see, their missiles are located on the left hand side of the torso, and their energy and ballistic sides are all on the right hand side of the torsos. This is true for every variant except for the hero mech, which has a unique loadout, but this makes it very easy to identify where all the weapons or a mech are located. For example, if you meet the Spee Highlander, which has 4 large lasers and Azran, and a few Azran 6s, well, take out his right hand torso, you take off 4 PPCs and it's pretty much neutered. Other than that, I own a few of these, and while the specialization of the torsos can be a drawback, it can also be a boon, because you can only expose a certain side of your mech to fire and drop back into cover, so it's nice for peekabooing, if you want to call it that. This one can actually take an AC-20 in the arm, or am I selecting the right one? No, that's this one, 732. It doesn't have a lower arm actuator, so while you need to aim with the torso for your arm, it's still very dangerous. And the other ones can at the very least take a Gauss rifle, or the P can take a PPC in the arm, so they're no less dangerous. And to the holy grail of assaults, Atlas. These are most definitely the tallest mechs in the assault range. The heaviest ones on armor and firepower, but they're also the slowest together with Stalkers. You don't want to be racing anything, you want to be a brick wall where all the other racing cars drive into and subsequently die. These things are made for staying power and firepower, and they go a very long way in providing that. I got the D, the DDC, and the RS. I got the D because it was the trial mech, and I must say it's a very nice mech. The DDC has ECM, so you can provide shooting for your team and for yourself, which is very nice because it makes enemy scouts' job a lot harder. And it means you can approach the enemy team somewhat unseen, so that they at the very least don't know what your assault group has. The K is unique that it has 2 AMS systems, and I think that was pretty much it. It also has 2 central torso mounted energy slots like the Atlas D, so this one can also zombie at a pinch, but to be honest, once you've lost both of your side torsos, you're pretty much neutered anyway. So I don't know how much of a plus side that is. And the RS, which has 2 energy slots in each arm, and that kinda is what it has going for it. RS are most often used as sniper mechs with either PPCs or ER large lasers in the arms and a Gauss rifle. And when people stand in front of them, they tend to disappear exceedingly fast. And also very frequently seen one is, well, not frequently, but sometimes seen is the 4 large pulse laser or an AC-21. And when something gets within the optimum range, that's about 270 to 300 meters, they also tend to disappear very, very, very fast. That one runs very hot though, and it has very limited range, so if you catch it at a distance, it's yeah, an easy target. tour of the selection of mechs took a little bit longer than I expected. So I'm gonna cut this video off here and do my mech building in the next video. This is MWO, signing off.